Hello, welcome to 2018. We made it. Great. I was gonna have a hangout last night, a New Year's Eve hangout, but I got into watching videos and I was watching chat rooms where they were just slagging and hating and verbally chopping each other up into little pieces. And I just wasn't in the mood for it. I woke up this morning watching the same chat rooms, I guess, and the same people are chopping each other up into little pieces. Aren't we past that? Isn't 2017 behind us? Come on, man. Come on, everybody. Let's get serious. On that note, nah, fuck it. Let's have fun. Let's have serious fun. I don't know. Anyway, as you can tell, the 1st of January 2018 is getting off to a very slow start. But thanks to the wonders and magical properties of caffeine, we are able to continue. So, I was thinking... Nah, I'm just kidding. I wasn't thinking. I was just wondering if I'm gonna what I should do here to get this show started. Get some people in here. I do have the outside chat. Let me show you. I have the outside chat lined up. Check it out. All lined up, ready to go. If anybody has anything to contribute into the outside chat, it will be monitored. What else can I tell you? Yes, that will be monitored. Be nice. Sometimes it will need to be reviewed before it's actually unlocked or something. I'm not sure. Alright, what else we got for you today? Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. We got some serious problems here. Okay, so, let me just bring this one in. Watch how I go from looking my age. Okay, looking 20 years younger than I am. to... Come on, mouse. To looking 20 years older than I am. Anyway, the point is I am now the Iranian Ayatollah, and I'm going to read you a report from the BBC, the hated satanic BBC. Ayatollah Sidney Winston will be back to read that. Propaganda from the BBC about the no good criminals running around the streets trying to disrupt government business. We'll be back with that. There is a hangout. I think there's even I even think there's a link to the hangout in the in the details. Yes, in the details. So you should be able to see that. And that hangout, pow! There you go. These are the rules, not only of the hangout, but rules for life, huh? Number one, firstly, there's 11 of them. They're called the 11 satanic rules of the earth. I want you to absorb that, please. So you should be able to see 11 satanic rules of the earth. Now, they're all sort of common sense, I think, except for perhaps which one is it? Oh, number 7. We'll get there, but I'll read it and I will explain it. It's not something that none of this is really belief. It's just kind of common sense. But first, number one, do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. That kind of does work in apply in a hangout, because if someone's talking and they're not talking to you, but they're still talking, then it's best that you keep your mouth shut, wait your turn. Number two, do not tell your troubles to others unless you're sure they want to hear them. Okay, now, you know what this could mean? Let me just fix this little image here. It doesn't look to be lining up exactly properly like I wanted. Okay, there we go. Again, in the hangout, if somebody's telling you a problem, if somebody's working on a problem, somebody has a personal issue and they're talking, listen, just listen, and do not interrupt. And when they're finished, do not tell them your troubles as if they want to hear them because you've just listened to theirs. Wait, just be smart. You don't have to talk. You can keep your mouth shut. If you've got nothing to say, or if it's inappropriate, stop. Number three, the hangout, this particular hangout anyway, is my lair. Okay? My lair. So, for all my guests, when in another's lair, show them respect, or else do not go there. Okay? Especially for you trolls. If you can show respect, don't come into my hangout. Number four, if a guest in your lair annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy. Okay, so if you're in my lair, in my hangout, and I'm being nice to you and asking you to be respectful, but you keep on flaunting these rules, disrespecting the hangout, then you'll be treated cruelly without mercy. Probably be kicked. Yeah. Number five, do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. Now, in this hangout, it probably shouldn't apply if you want to give somebody the mating signal. Do it on a direct or private message. Don't do it in the hangout. Or if you do it in the hangout, make it very preliminary and then move on to private message. And perhaps you should leave the hangout, both of you. Number 6. Do not take that which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to the other person and they cry out to be relieved. Well, this is probably one of those that doesn't really apply to a hangout, because I think it applies to tangible property. Something that, something that you own, that you bought, that you picked up and moved or whatever. It's just not relevant, I don't think. At least not in most cases. Now, number 7. This is the one I said that I had a little bit of an issue with. Well, I don't have an issue with. I have an issue with people understanding it. And I'm going to read it. Acknowledge the power of magic if you have employed it successfully to obtain your desires. If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it with success, you will lose all you have obtained. Now, this doesn't mean that there's a thing called satanic magic. It just doesn't. What it says, if you or somehow live the life where the satanic magic, if it exists at all, is part of your life, and you use it, and you achieve, or you use it and employ it, or you employ it successfully, you use it successfully to obtain your desire. If you're using the magic and you're believing in the magic and you get what you want, do not deny that it was the power of the magic that did it, that allowed you to successfully obtain your desire. Do not deny that the power of magic is what helped you. Because if you do, you will lose all you have obtained. This is something that's a little bit beyond me. I'm not really a subscriber to magic of any sort. So it's not, number 7 is not saying magic exists. It's saying if you believe in it and it works, don't knock it after, I guess. Again, not a big one for me. I really ignore that one. Number 8. Do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. I think that's pretty relevant in the Hangout. Huh? Pretty damn relevant. Okay, I see the chat room is, or the YouTube chat starting to get a little bit busy. But anyway, let me finish up here before we go back there. Number 8. I'll repeat. Do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. Aries 106. I'm talking to you, buddy. Or miss, or whatever you are. Number 9. Okay, it's a short one. It's to the point. And it's the best one on here. Do not harm little children. Period. Okay? Number 9. Do not harm little children. You got that, Bible? You got that with your Christians and Jews and Muslims with your fucking 10 commandments? You got it? Do not harm little children. Hey, Catholics, talking to you, priests, fuckers. Now, number 10. Do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. Okay? Don't be cruel cunts to animals. Animal abuse is, to me, punishable by death. Bastards. All of you animal abusers, all of you animal abuse supporters, you're in my sights. And number 11, the final one. When walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask them to stop. If they do not stop, destroy them. Again, this does not really apply to this Hangout because it's not open territory per se. It's open cyber territory maybe, but it's kind of not the same thing. This the Hangout version of this would be number 4. If a guest in your lair annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy, kick them. That's it. Aries 106 is androgynous, whatever. Oh, okay, well, let's go to Aries 106 and see what's going on there, buddy. I'm just going to slide in. Hello there, Aries 106. I don't even know if... Alright, let me just see. I'm going to start reading here. This is... I don't know this person from a bar of soap, okay? And he doesn't know me. But he's already started with, hey, haha, Satanists have to have one more rule than the 10 Commandments. LOL. The fuck does that mean? Ha ha ha. Satanists have to have one more rule than. It's not then, it's than. Get your grammar correct, asshole. Than the 10 Commandments. Lol. Why is that so funny? What the fuck? Are you so stupid that you think that's funny? That your 10 Commandments and I got 11 rules, so therefore you win? Hey, one of my rules says, do not harm little children. Remember that, okay? Bible-thumping Christian cunt. My dick is 1 inch bigger than Your dick Christians. What the fuck kind of a comment is that? I'm androgynous, thank you very much. Yeah, what, so? Does that affect your brain? Does it make your brain like shrivel up like into a little 1-inch brain? What the fuck? Oh, there's more. Destroy them. That's a little edgy. Just because you are annoyed? Let's go back and check that one out. Good on you. All right. I can't even find it anymore. There it is. All right. Let's see here. What am I looking for? Oh yes. We're looking for them. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a quick look. Destroy. Yes, number 11. When walking in open territory, got it? Open territory, bother no one. Okay? You're walking in open territory, you're bothering no one. Great. Now, as you're bothering no one, you're doing good. If someone bothers you, okay, you're bothering no one. If someone bothers you, ask them to stop. If they do not stop, destroy them. Okay? Destroy them. Problems? Questions? I didn't think so. That's right. Okay, so just so you know, the YouTube chat is open. This person, Aries 106, not a very smart person, but you can choose. It goes into your YouTube chats. All right, I want to start getting into this Iranian thing. What's happening in Iran? Now, what's happening in Iran is interesting because for 4 days now, maybe 5, I can't remember, but for a few days now, there have been protests in the Iranian streets. Iran, the country, is an Islamic theocracy run by clerics, the Ayatollahs. Now, as far as I can tell, the problem that that the Iranian people have with, and the reason why they're on the streets is, I guess, twofold, guys. What does this mean, man? What does that mean, man? I don't know either. Twofold. Number one, corruption. Iran is a very, very rich country, lots of natural resources, and just a big country with lots of stuff to do, lots of ways to make money, and it is doing well. But it's the Ayatollahs, the clerics, who are skimming, and the, of course, the what's called the IRGC, Iranian Revolutionary Guards, I don't know, something. They are skimming the money. That crew, their families, their society of the clerics are the elite now, basically, because they control everything. Even though the economy in Iran is fairly good, because they got oil and they got resources and stuff. The inflation rate and the prices for the regular people is rising. I don't want to say skyrocketing at this point, but it's going up pretty quickly. And at least 50%, if not more, of Iran, of the population of Iran, is young, like under 30 or something. Maybe even younger than that, I don't know. And they're not stupid. They got these things, look. They got stuff like that, alright? They work. When the government of Iran lets it, then they don't switch off the internet. But anyway, they've taken to the streets. They're pissed off at the clerics for, number one, being corrupt, and for number two, being this fucking stifling, oppressive theocracy. Can you imagine living? Can you imagine being free in your mind, like we all are, free in our mind, but having to live in this fucking dark world, this theocratic world of fear and darkness? Ugh. Couldn't imagine. Couldn't. So, that's starting to be a problem for Iran. Now, the government of Iran, I think, is going to win this war. It's going to take down a lot of people. I think it's going to potentially bring in third parties, unless the Iranian people grow a pair of balls, and when the Basij militia comes in, don't run away. When the Iranian guards come at you, don't run away. But the most important thing of all is the number of people on the streets. If all of you Iranian youth get out on the streets, you must know that a whole bunch of you are going to be killed, martyred, I guess you call it in the East. But you're gonna kill. You're gonna die for your cause. But if you don't relent, if all of you get out there, if there's a popular uprising, a really popular, relentless uprising in Iran, you're gonna get your democratic Persia back. Fuck this Islamic Republic bullshit. It's nonsense. It's fucking worse than ancient Rome. The ancient Roman setup. Horrible. So what I want to do is I want to read this BBC. Now I've had it queued up for quite a while now, so it quite possibly has been updated. But anyway, I've got it queued up. I got it queued up, and I'm gonna read it. Let me just bring it in here. So, yeah, there it is. Alright, so 10 dead in a further protest overnight. Oh my goodness. Alright, so let's see here. 10 people have been killed overnight in anti-government protests sweeping Iran. According to the state TV of Iran, 10 people killed. It's a lot. Overnight, you know, you think street protests overnight. In the events of last night, unfortunately, a total of about 10 people were killed in several cities. It's said at least 12 people have now died since protests began on Thursday. Thursday, right? Today's Monday. On Monday, that's today. Now, I think Iran is 12 hours ahead of us, so it's Monday night. On Monday, President Hassan Rouhani said the protests and criticism were an opportunity, not a threat. Do you trust an Ayatollah? Do you trust the cleric? I think not. He said the country should work together to fix its economic problems. Now, he's the one who brought them on. I work together to fix the economic problems, considering you brought them on in the first place. Politics. Hate it. He said, our nation will deal with this minority who chant slogans against the law and people's wishes, and insult the sanctities and values of the revolution. See? You see? You know what's coming. When they start talking like this, sanctities, values, revolution, Islamic, it means death. Death is coming to those who doth protest. Mr. Rouhani had previously said that citizens were free to protest, but not violently, right? He did say that. I remember reading that. But now he's saying, you're not free to protest. Well, you're free to protest as long as you support the government, okay? That's the way it is in Iran. US President Donald Trump continued his war of words with Iran's leaders on Monday, posting a tweet saying, the great Iranian people have been repressed for many years. They are hungry for food and freedom. Unquote. Protests in Iran had continued overnight. Police used tear gas and water cannon to quell a rally in Tehran's Engaheleb Square, and demonstrations were reported in Kermanshah and Khorramabad in the west, Shahin Shah in the northwest, and the northern city of Zanjan. So you just got a geography lesson of some cities in Iran, which I had never heard of either. The demonstrations, which erupted on Thursday, today's Monday, on Thursday in Iran's second city of Mashhad, are the biggest show of dissent seen since the huge rallies of the Green Movement were brutally suppressed in 2009. Judiciary Chief Ayatollah Sadegh Amoli Larijani called for a crackdown on rioters and vandals on Monday, according to state television. Some individuals are exploiting the situation. This is wrong, he said. State TV said armed protesters had tried to take over some police stations and military bases, but faced serious resistance from security forces. Look at the map. Look how many places there are that's being attacked. Street protests. How have authorities responded to protests? Mr. Rouhani has acknowledged popular grievances, though he warned that the government would show no tolerance for those who damage public properties, violate public order, and create unrest in the society. That pretty much covers anything. And Iran's Revolutionary Guards Corps, that's what the C stands for, IRGC, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, has warned anti-government protesters they will face the nation's iron fist if political unrest continues. The IRGC is a powerful force with ties to the country's supreme leader, just like I said, and is dedicated to preserving the country's Islamic system. Not a tradition, it's an Islamic system. Correspondents say it will be a significant escalation were they to become officially involved in policing the protests. Oh yeah, that's what I said. People are going to die if this continues, if you are relentless. Iranian youth, if you are relentless, some of you will die, but you will win in the end. up to 400 people are reported to have been arrested in recent days, including 200 in Tehran on Saturday night. 200 in one place. And authorities continue to sporadically suspend social media websites they fear will be used to organize protests, like including Telegram and Instagram. Just poof, switch it off, switch it off. I mean, we're an Islamic Republic, we should do whatever the fuck we like. State media have now begun broadcasting some footage on the protests, though focuses on young men attacking banks and vehicles or burning the Iranian flag, reported AFP News Saturday. On Sunday, police used water cannons to disperse protesters at a major intersection, as captured in a video obtained by a BBC Persian. Not that I'm promoting the BBC, but there you go. Oh, look, I'm going to try and play this video, right? This water cannon video. Sometimes nothing plays, but we'll see. Actually, I'm not going to play it. Fuck it. I'll probably get copyrighted or something. Fuck it. So there you go. Shit's happening. I'm just going to scroll through the rest of it. Shit's happening in Iran. We're going to watch that as we go by. Now, back to Mr. Aries. Let's see what we got here. What's he got to say? I don't think you would have the balls to do that, Sidney, Winston. To do what? To do what, Aries? I'd fucking have the balls to do whatever I had to do. And then he goes on to say that 12 people dying is an opportunity. Lol. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't think you know yourself. So, what else did we want to cover? Oh, I just wanted to give you a little view of the hangout. If you do come into the hangout, then everybody's welcome to come into the hangout. Just please follow the rules. This is what the hangout window is going to look like. Pachoo! Oh, I'm down here now. Hello. So yeah, if any you come in, you speak. I don't think anyone's gonna see you, but they'll hear you. Can you hear the crows outside? They're hungry. They found something to eat, I think. So yeah, that's what it's gonna look like if you come to hang out. Probably a good idea to check to see if there's anyone in the hangout yet. No, not yet. That's good. That's just fine. Because the next thing I want to talk about is my favorite subject, and that is the Middle East. You do know I like to talk about the Middle East, don't ya? Why is 2018? Let's talk about it. What happened in 2017? Oh, before we get into that, I noticed something. And I want you guys out there to give me an honest answer here, okay? Tell me. This year, 2017, last year, 2017, passed uneventfully with respect to events that happened prior in 2016, 2015, 2014. And if you remember correctly, during 2015, during 2016, 2014, 2013, those were years of virtual race war. Remember? White cops killing black kids, Black Lives Matter, all sorts of white on black and black on white, and just the streets were unsafe. White supremacists coming out of the woodwork. They were in their hangouts. People like, people with no brains all of a sudden decided they had something to hang on to. Like Crypto 27, the dumbest cunt on the planet. Oh, he's a white supremacist now. Shit, man, I hope that guy doesn't breed. Hey, Crypto, if you're watching this, don't breed, okay? Have your fun, but please don't breed. Remember all those years of black people being killed by white cops? I just noticed that last year, 2017, the first full year of President Trump, no race wars, no protests in the streets. Charlottesburg in the beginning, I remember there was one. There was one in the beginning. But if we could just say, when Trump took over, since Trump took over, up to now, this race war thing, the black people and the white cops killing the black kids, has virtually disappeared. It's not in the news all the time. It's not, there's no Black Lives Matter at 6 o'clock on CNN every evening. I don't think, I'm not sure about that because I don't watch CNN. But I'm guessing. Because I don't see it anyway. I don't see it anywhere on the social media. I don't see it anywhere on the news sites that I follow. As you can see, BBC is one of them. So, Trump's done something right there. He says that he's brought jobs back and he's improved the economy and he's lowered the unemployment rate. Well, you got to say maybe he's right. Maybe those people who were on the streets before, feeling hopeless with nothing to do, maybe now they've got some hope. Maybe there's jobs. Maybe the confidence of the country is just starting to sweep over everybody. Trump's done a good job. Don't say that Trump is crazy. In fact, I think the sanest thing, the most sane thing that Donald Trump has done so far, short of his domestic policy, is recognize Jerusalem as the rightful, eternal capital of the state of Israel. And to you, Donald Trump, a round of applause. You deserve it. Everybody with me? Good. And I've given this history lesson before, but I like it. I really like it. I'm going to go through the slides real quick. Okay, here they are. I'll just cut them. I'll just cut the whole thing in here. Here you go. Oops. Oh, I guess I should bring them up first. All right, here we go. So there you go. Right, that's kind of old ancient Rome. When the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, obviously somewhere between 476 of the Common Era and 1453 of the Common Era, because in 1453, in 476, the Roman Empire in red kind of disappeared. In 1453, the Byzantine Empire there in orange kind of disappeared and was replaced pretty much by the green, by the Arabs. That was a long time ago. Next slide, what we got here? Oh, the Ottoman Empire, our friends, the Ottoman Empire. So from 1453, the Ottoman Empire ruled the Eastern Mediterranean, right? You got it? That includes Damascus, and there's Tripoli on this map, Istanbul, or Constantinople, but anyway, Istanbul, since 1453. There's Tripoli, I see Damascus, I see Mosul, I see Baghdad, I see Mecca, Medina, Sana'a, all these places of the on this map. And this is up until 1914. This is basically the way the world looked geographically, borders, etc. in 1914. But one thing I just want to point out to you, do you see anywhere on this map the word Jerusalem? Anywhere? Anywhere? You see Tripoli, you see Damascus. Damascus is the capital of Syria, which was in itself a Roman province before the Ottomans took it. Right? No Jerusalem, nothing. Then, in 1914, the Ottoman Empire collapsed. But before they collapsed, they did have some kind of an administrative setup. And again, you see no Jerusalem, but I'm just going to take you to the Sanjaks, the way the area that we call Palestine today was actually set up in Ottoman times. There was no Palestine. It was divided into Sanjaks, or districts, as you can tell. Sanjak of Man, Sanjak of Horan, Sanjak of Beirut, Sanjak of Acre, Sanjak of Nablus, independent Sanjak of Jerusalem. Right? There's no Palestine. These are territorial divisions. Turkish territorial divisions of the Ottoman Empire. They did not have a Palestine within the Ottoman Empire. Right? Nothing. So then 1914 comes and goes, 1917 arrives, the Ottoman Empire is destroyed. And the conquering powers, Britain and France, are given mandates for parts of the area. Looks like it's been split into three. There's the mandate for Syria and Lebanon. There's the mandate for Iraq or Mesopotamia, and the mandate for Palestine. And as you can see, the area of Palestine is huge. Huge. Look at it over there. Not as big as the other two, but it's massive. It's all in purple there. That's Palestine. That is the area designated as Palestine in 1917. That is the area in 1917 that was designated as the future Jewish national home in 1917. Here's a little bit of a more focused look. See, that is the British mandate of Palestine in 1917 was given to them. And all the way through 1922, that was actually the area in blue. That was all the area where which was given to the Jewish national home to be founded. Lots of place for all the Jews. But the fucking Arabs, man, they are such bitches and such whiners and such complainers. What did they do? Bitch, complain, whine, all of this area here in orange, which was the Jewish national home, after 1922, because of all the bitching and complaining of the Arabs, it was decided, at a conference of course, to take a huge chunk of that Jewish national home for the Jews, as you see there, and give it to the Arabs. Right? So there's the whole area in white, which is for the Jews, and with one swoop of the pen, boom, they cut off a whole chunk, everything east of the Jordan River is given to the Arabs. No Jewish immigration in that part. In the white part, which is designated as Jewish Palestine, yes, that's where all the Jewish immigration can take place. Okay, so I just want to recap. We go from the mandate for Palestine, 120,000 odd square kilometers, in which the Jewish national home was to be reconstituted. With a swoop of the pen, they took 77% away of that land, and they left 28,000 odd square kilometers for the Jews. But that was not good enough. The Arabs wanted a whole bunch of that Jewish Palestine too. And the British were such fucking poofters that they couldn't control the situation. They just couldn't control the situation. Bastards. So here we go. Let's have a look at what we got. We got the yellow part now left. It was all yellow. Now just the brown part's been taken away from the Jews. Gone. Gone. Look at that. Gone. So yeah, I've got Palestine on the left of the line and Transjordan on the right of the line. Transjordan is not open to immigration, Jewish immigration, only Arab immigration. Go for it, Arabs. Go, 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 go. Here's another look. In 1914, the area in yellow was called Palestine and given to the Jewish national home, to the Jews, when she set up the Jewish national home. The Arabs were bitching and whining and complaining and rioting and killing. The right-hand side of this, the right-hand picture resulted in 1923 that everything to the right of, or to the east of the Jordan River was given to the Arabs. I also want to point one other thing quickly. You'll notice here in white that the top, the Golan Heights, all part of Palestine. All part of Palestine. Even when the area here that was given to Transjordan the Golan Heights remained part of Palestine, right? All the time until 1923. See? 1923, the Golan Heights has been given to Syria. Just give it away. So the Jews have got much to complain about. Here's another one. All the yellow on the left, and then on the right, even the Golan Heights is given back by the British. Now, if we were to be fair and you didn't want to split up Palestine into two, you should have done it 50-50. And if you had done it 50-50, it would have looked like this. Right down the middle, 50% Jewish, 50% Arab. Could have had two states right there, but nope. We had to wait a few years for this to come along in Europe. Nazis. Jew haters, Jew killers, Nazis, more Nazis, leaders of Nazis, lovers of Nazis. Look at them. Hundreds of thousands of fucking Nazis. Nazis everywhere. Nazis, Nazis, Nazis. Crazy fanatical fuckers. Well, what's the result of crazy fanatical Nazi fuckers? Well, crazy fanatical Nazi fuckers killing Jews. That's what it is. Ha ha ha. Let's all line up and watch these officers shoot these guys in the back of the head so they fall into the pit dead. Hey, does that remind you of anything? Alright, so I'm just going to go and eavesdrop into a tea time conversation here between the Nazi Jew killer Adolf Hitler and the Wahhabi Jew killer, the Mufti of Jerusalem. They're discussing how to kill Jews. And Hitler is saying, we gas them. Ha ha ha, we gas them. And then we shoot them in the back of the head. Or we shoot them on the back of the head. Some of them. And the other ones we gas. Ha 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 ha. And the Mufti, he's saying, you know something? We don't do that. We shoot them. We kill them. We murder them. We torture them. But you know what? Adolf, in 80 years' time, we're coming for you. We're coming for you, Germans. Yeah. Us Muslims will be in Germany in 80 years' time. But guess what? There's a lion, and he arrives on the scene as he says, "Ha! Hitler, you bastard, you're dead. I beat you." Right? And it's true. Winston Churchill beat Hitler. Beat Hitler's but bad. But he also says that the Jews have a right to a national home in Palestine. Right? And this is Palestine. Although by the time Churchill gets around to running the joint, this is what's left. That's it. That's all that's left. Nigga. I'm 200. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We have a fucking Rhodes Scholar here. Let me carry on. Yes, we have Winston Churchill come along and fix everything and say, right on, okay, Palestine is for the Jews. That's what we're going to do. We're going to send them there. Look what Hitler's did. Look what Hitler done. He's pretty much given us a damn good reason to have a Jewish national home, at least somewhere. Palestine is a designated place, so that's where it is. And just to sort of give you an idea of what happens next, Britain decides that's it, we're out of here. We can't. The Arabs and the Jews are making life too difficult for us. We're out. So they refer the matter of the mandate to the United Nations. In the picture you see here with the four maps, the one on the right is the most significant because the United Nations, which essentially established the state of Israel, right, in 1947, they came up with a partition plan. This is the partition plan. In 1947. The areas that are light are for the Arabs, which we'll call the Palestinians, which they call the Palestinians, or somebody called the Palestinians in this slide. And the areas that are darker, those are the Jewish areas. Now there, right there, is your two-state solution. Okay? Isn't that wonderful? Two-state solution? Perfect. There's another look at the two-state solution, where the green is Jewish and the brown is Arab. Green, right? Here's the best look. Okay, so this one, the orange is Jewish. The maroon is Arab. Two-state solution. Right there, baby. There's your two-state solution. What more could you possibly want? But you know what? You know what the fucking Arabs did? They said, no. We are not going to accept that. We are going to attack. And attack they did. War was on. Pow, pow, poo, poo, pee, pee, pow. But the war ended. There was an armistice in 1949. 1949's armistice ended this way, where the yellow part was Jewish, and the green part was Arab. Not only was it Arab, but it was Jordanian Arab. Jordanian Arab. Now, I just want to point out something to you about Jordan. Jordan has a capital. Jordan had a capital then. Jordan has a capital now. And guess what? It is the same capital. Amman, Jordan, is the capital of Jordan. Jordan had, from 1949 to 1967, an opportunity. That's almost 20 years. An opportunity to take Jordan and make it Palestine and make Jerusalem its capital. But it didn't take that opportunity, did it? Didn't even think about it, probably. So, that's what the state of Israel looked like from 1949 until 1967 in yellow. Not very big. That West Bank that is taken up and controlled by Jordan is only there because the Jordanian army was undefeatable. It was too strong to be defeated up there in 1949. That's the only reason that part belongs to the Arabs, to Jordan. And even though Jordan had it in their control, and they did annex it, there's no doubt about it, they annexed it. Now, I'm not sure if international law acknowledged that annexation. I'm sure they did, because I've never read anywhere that they didn't. So I'm going to go along with the assumption, with the conclusion that yes, Jordan annexed the West Bank. But you'll notice that Jerusalem was never made the capital of neither Jordan nor Palestine. And that was the situation all the way up until 1967, when the Arabs decided that they didn't want Israel there, the yellow parts. They don't want that there. No, they don't want Jews there. Let's get them out. And so they attacked again. But one more time, the Israelis fucking won. They kicked the Arabs' ass, and look what they got left with. They got left with all of this at the end. Now this looks like a picture after 1970, after 1979, the peace treaty. Okay, the sign is obviously back in Egypt's control. So this is Israel today. Israel controls the West Bank. Israel basically, even though they've left the Gaza Strip, they pretty much have it blockaded. I can't speak for why Egypt does, because you'd think there'd be open doors to the Gaza Strip. But anyway, I can't speak for them. And the Golan is also part of Israel now. This, my friends, is Israel. The country, the sovereign state of Israel, as it should be. If Israel was smart, everything in white here, short of the Gaza Strip, because it seems to me that Gaza Strip is soon to become the new Palestine, or a country called Gaza, or something separate. But if Israel was smart, they would annex the West Bank today. Now, right now, before the end of this live broadcast, Israel should annex the West Bank. And if you think that's a bit of an extreme statement to make, let me return to Donald Trump and his recognition of Jerusalem as the eternal capital of the state of Israel. When he did that a few weeks ago, there was a whole bunch of apocalyptic prophecy, end of the world, the Arabs are going to hit the streets, there's going to be an uprising, toppling of, there's going to be lots of deaths, and it's going to be catastrophic, cataclysmic. Well, since then there have been some protests in the street and stuff, and you'll see they've all been fairly peaceful. Here's one in Göttingen with this lady with, taking pictures of everything. Now I just want to bring to your attention this gentleman in the nice suit behind there with the, he looks quite clean cut and presentable, and he's holding a frame. He's holding a picture frame with a flag in the background and a piece of real estate in the foreground. Okay? So that, according to this gentleman, is the real estate that is called, in his view, called Palestine. That's the protest that has been in effect, these kind of protests since Jerusalem was recognized by Donald Trump as the eternal and undivided capital of the state of Israel. But we have a problem, because if you look at the shape of that real estate in the picture frame and compare it to the shape of the real estate that is presently the state of Israel, look at that, and look at that. And if you consider that according to the current situation, currently the status is that is Israel. According to this fantasy, that same real estate is called Palestine. So if you put them together and you look, you'll see two pieces of real estate shaped exactly the same. The one on the left is called Israel, and the one on the right is what the Palestinian Authority, the PLO, Hamas, Fatah, they all want to be known as Palestine. Same real estate, two different names, and that's what the war is about. There's no two-state solution. Nobody wants a two-state solution. The Arabs don't want a two-state solution. The Palestinians definitely do not want a two-state solution. The Palestinians want the one-state solution. And the one-state solution to them is where the current sovereign state of Israel is terminated and becomes Palestine. That's exactly what the war is all about, and that is why it cannot end with a two-state solution, because that is not even on the table. All right, so there you go. That's my history lesson for the day. That's my underlying reason for supporting a one-state solution, for supporting let me show you which one I would prefer. Oh yeah, here we go. For supporting this one. This is the one I like. Okay, so over here, why go there? We're not going to go there. So over here, this is all the land from the Jordan River west until the Mediterranean Sea, including the Golan Heights, that is Israel. Everything east of the Jordan River, that is Palestine, or Jordan, whatever you want to call it. None of our business. The capital of Israel is Jerusalem. The border extends towards the Jordan River. There is no issue. As far as I'm concerned, that is resolved. So there you go. Now I haven't checked anything for the last little while. Let me go and have a quick look at what's happening. What's happening in the outside chat, if anything at all, because I know this is boring. Pretty fucking boring stuff, but let's see. Aries 106 is still around, or he was. He said 12 people dying is an opportunity. Lol. Sidney, how high are you right now? Well, actually, I'm probably, let's see, I'm probably maybe 100 feet above sea level, I guess. Because I do live on the water's edge, but I'm on the sort of top of a hill, 100 feet above sea level, I guess. That would be sort of my best guess on that one. Byzantine Empire was replaced by the Ottoman Empire, you idiot! Not Arabs. Okay. I think you jumped into that one before you knew what you were talking about. Wait, they held the Arabs back for 600 years. That's what I said. The Arabs came around 700 or so, 600 CE, and the Ottomans toppled, or the Turks, Arabs toppled the Byzantine Empire, 1453. Yeah, you're right. 600 years, 700 years, whatever. So what? We know that. They held back the Arabs for 600 years. So dude, you're a fucking idiot. He says, Byzantine Empire was replaced by the Ottoman Empire. You idiot. Not the Arabs. Okay. But then he says, the Byzantine Empire held back the Arabs for 600 years. But then it was the Ottoman Empire, not the Arabs, who took over, who replaced the... You're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. And then he says, Ottoman Empire equals Turks, not Arabs. So, where did the Turks come from? If we are holding back the Arabs for 600 years, and they're taken over by the Turks, did the Turks just magically appear out of nowhere? Come on, man. You're really not a good hangout YouTube chatter. You're full of shit. Alright, so other than that idiot who came in and tried to sort of spam my the hangout itself, it's pretty much all I got for you for now. So remember, dudes, next time you come into a hangout, there's rules. There's rules. I'm going to leave these up here for a couple of minutes while you read them. Because the segment has run